Chelle defends substitution choice. Why Chukwueze was brought on for penalties against Morocco. In the wake of Nigeria's heartbreaking exit from the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations (AFCON) semi-final, Super Eagles head coach Chelle has publicly explained his controversial decision to introduce Samuel Chukwueze late in extra time, specifically for the ensuing penalty shootout against host nation Morocco. The tightly contested match at the Prince Moulay Abdallah Stadium in Rabat ended 0-0 after 120 minutes, forcing a penalty shootout which saw Morocco prevail 4-2, crushing Nigeria's hopes of reaching the final. The Super Eagles missed two crucial spot kicks, including one by Chukwueze, that ultimately swung the tie in Morocco's favor. A tactical substitution under scrutiny. Chukwueze was brought on in the dying moments of extra time, a move that instantly drew sharp criticism from Nigerian fans and pundits, many of whom took to social media to question the logic behind introducing a player solely for penalties, only for him to suffer the anguish of a miss. At his post-match press conference, however, Chelle stood by his decision, insisting it was far from a gamble. According to the coach, the choice was rooted in hard data and thorough preparation rather than intuition or desperation. I put Chukwueze for the penalty session because we did work in all training sessions for the penalties, Chelle said. With the statistics, the guys who kicked penalties were the best during the warm-ups. That is why we have these guys on the pitch. Chelle emphasized that those selected for the shootout were among the most reliable penalty takers during training, and his decision was based on performance data and practice statistics, even though it ultimately did not yield the desired result. Why the decision made sense, in theory. Multiple reports beyond the cable confirm that the substitution was part of a calculated strategy. Coach Chelle also introduced Moses Simon late in the match, not only to refresh Nigeria's attacking impetus but also to prepare the team for the psychological challenge of penalties. Chukwueze's inclusion was deliberate. He and others chosen for the shootout were identified in training as having the best records in taking penalties. This analytical approach aimed to give Nigeria the best chance in what is often described as a lottery, but with preparation, experience and calm under pressure as determining factors. A painful pattern for Nigeria. The missed penalty by Chukwueze revived painful memories for Nigerian football fans. Not long before AFCON, the Super Eagles had suffered another shootout heartbreak, losing 4-3 on penalties to DR Congo in the 2026 FIFA World Cup playoff final. Chelle's penalty strategy was therefore intended to avoid repeating past errors, even if it did not work out on this occasion. Looking ahead. Despite the bitter disappointment in the semi-final, Chelle's explanation offers insight into the reasoning behind his tactical decisions. It highlights how modern coaching increasingly uses data and practice performance to inform crucial matchday choices, even if those choices don't always produce success on the biggest stage. As Nigeria prepares for the third-place playoff against Egypt, fans and analysts alike will continue to debate the penalty strategy and ponder lessons to take forward from a tournament that promised much but ultimately ended in anguish for the Super Eagles.